Interview presented by Canaceutics Medical Dispensary, proudly serving New Mexico cannabis patients with trustworthy all-natural medicine since 2010.
Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel, inside United Fit, along with the magician, John Dodson. BKFC is returning to the 505. The magician is in the spotlight. Inaugural Flyweight Championship. He called it. He predicted it all along. John Dodson, what was the thoughts when they finally told you you were going to be fighting for this 125 title, sir, on August 11th?
Thank you guys for actually giving me the belt. I'm going to appreciate this opportunity to sit there and thank all my fans, my family, my training partners, and everybody else. We already knew I was the champion already in the BKFC Flyweight division is what I am the king of. I sit there, be crushing skulls left and right, and I did it already to a previous champion with Jared Grant being at the bantamweight division. So I want to clean up this whole inaugural title. It's not going to be an inaugural title. They knew who was the king already, and that's me.
Are you calling your shot right away after you get the belt that you want the 135 belt? Are we thinking title defense? What is the inaugural champion already thinking his reign is going to look like? Or what are you trajectorying out there?
I'm going to go ahead and secure the 125 title and defend it as many times as possible. I want to make sure that I scare everybody in the division so they have to bring in new talent every single time, whether I have to go to the Philippines, Thailand, Japan, the UK, wherever the BKFC will travel, they will need me to go ahead and represent them and showcase the best striker in the world, and that's me.
You said Japan. Well, that's a place that you've been recently, actually pushed to go a little bit further than we've seen in this post-UFC runs. Knocking guys cold, first round, pushed for a couple minutes here. What was that like?
It's been amazing. Like, going out to go fight for Ryzen, they give me a new home, a new opportunity to go ahead and try out some different rule sets. 12 to 6 elbows, kneeing people on the ground. Also, soccer kicking has been phenomenal for me. I just haven't been improving my head stomps just yet. Working on it, you guys. I can't wait to stomp somebody outside the ring and of my first MMA match out in Ryzen.
We got Ryzen, Bellator doing a lot, mixing things together. Do you have a clue after bare knuckle when you want to return to MMA?
No clue just yet. I just want to go ahead and put my main focus on this fight. Even though I already know I'm going to be the champion, I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. Put my full focus and attention to J.R. Rich because he is a tough opponent. He's gamed. He wanted to step up to the plate, and I want to make sure that I give him the exact same proper respect as an opponent.
Giving J.R. Ridge that respect as an opponent at BKFC 48. What do you think makes him a unique challenge from the previous two gentlemen you've squared off with in the squared circle?
He has a similar style. He likes to bounce in and out, but I want to see how hard he can hit first. And the second thing, everyone keeps on talking about this man's speed, and I want to test his speed because we already know my motto is that speed kills, and I'm the fastest thing alive.
Do you feel that from your research that he's projected that speed that you can at least see? You haven't felt it yet yourself, but can you see why people would reference him as fast?
I've seen it because he fought a guy named Superfly, Chancey Wilson, and he sat there showcasing his speed of barrages of punches, a mad onslaught of flurries in the in his 5th round when we got to see Chancey Williams curl up in a baby and just tucked himself away in the corner. It should have been a referee stoppage, but the level continued because, well, they had to get some type of a highlight reel to make it look like a good fight for me.
So you have an opponent that has a highlight win. You already have a couple. What's been the wildest reaction that people who didn't expect to see you have this success? What's that been?
Tell you the truth, it's been amazing because of the fact that I keep on proving people wrong still to this day. Like when they kept on doing it in the UFC, when I was an Ultimate Fighter, everything I've done in my life, I've always second-guessed my abilities of winning, and I keep on coming up on top.
Why do you think that was the case coming over here, that people were questioning whether you'd be successful? Honestly, I was like, oh, this is going to be John's sport. His hand speed is like one of your most dynamic attributes, in my opinion.
For me, I thought this was going to be the most showcasing of my abilities. It's 2-minute rounds. I can go ahead and be on full-on sprints. And the fact that I don't have to worry about no takedowns or anything else, like, how can you not say this is like a home for me and the sport designed just for my specifications of ability of being a striker?
Has it felt any different from the years of wrestling? You've done jiu-jitsu competitions. You've been in the cage. Does competing in bare knuckle, is that adrenaline rush? Is there anything different about that competition?
Oh, of course, it's a different animal because, like, the fact of the matter is anything can go. Like, I can get one cut and I could lose this fight. So I have to make sure I'm precise. I have to be accurate. And not only that, I have to be 100% focused and zeroed in on what I want to do. And I want to sacrifice my hands to earn that title.
And I'm also getting at, like, the nerves, the excitement, the adrenaline. Is competition, or is bare knuckle a little bit different of a beast?
No, a fight is still a fight. Every man that I go into, whatever it be, jiu-jitsu, wrestling match, a MMA fight, boxing fight, kickboxing, bare knuckle, everybody's trying to kill me because I have the same intent for them. So I want to hurt them the best way possible, and I know they're going to try to do the exact same thing on me. So there's no different emotions going into it. The only thing that's riding high for me is just securing the victory and how well I want to party afterwards.
Has there been much adjusting or curtailing your style to make it more perfected for BKFC?
No, my style has already been perfected for BKFC long before BKFC was ever around. So this is just welcoming them home for me to go ahead and showcase my true abilities.
Now, we've also seen you're pulling double duty. I was in here earlier. You're influencing the next generation of MMA talent. Gotta catch up with you on how's it being Coach Dodson once again?
Being Coach Dodson is amazing because of the fact that I get to go ahead and pass my knowledge to the next generation of fighters that are going to go out there and dominate the world.
And what is it specifically that has been exciting or fun about this group you're currently working with?
Because I get to lead by example and tell everybody, hey, if you can't do it, I'm going to do it for you. And if I don't want none of my students to sit there and say, well, you never became a champion. This is the time I'm showing them that I get to the rise to the top to the occasion, and so can they.
You've done Champ Camp a couple times before. What have you learned from those occasions, from those camps, that you're able to take into this one when it's such a big moment on the line?
What I've taken into the account for always being in Champ Camp, previous times with the UFC, shoot, all my other championship bouts for all different organizations. To be honest with you, the only thing that comes to mind is that I'm being more focused and lasered in and realizing that this is the moment I need to go ahead and attain. Back then when I was in there getting ready to fight Demetrius Johnson, I didn't really believe I was the champion. This is the time that I know for 100% in my heart that I am.
I've seen you do some. I'll believe he's the world champion. I've seen some amazing stuff. What did it take? And I can't believe I'm having to ask you what it took to get this confidence, because I don't know many guys that are more confident than you. But what did it take to break that glass ceiling? To all right, really, I am this great.
I remember I had to remind myself on who I am and what kind of a killer that I've always been. So going back out there, I want to make sure I can instill the same type of violence that everyone loves to see, and create the type of magic and entertainment for everybody to enjoy.
You're the magician, and what is it that makes your fights so magical?
Because they see me now. All my opponents have always sat there and been able to see me before, and then once they're laying down on the ground, they always forget what happened. I've always made people have that short-term memory loss happen really quickly of where I've been.
You've worked your way now up the card to be the headliner BKFC, to have the title fight at home, to get the attention on yourself. Is there a certain kind of feeling that comes with having that placement?
No, I'm just more excited to just go out there and go do this. Like, I know it's being at home, I get to go ahead and hopefully be on the same card with my brother, since they're still looking for an opponent for him. But we're going to see what happens, and I want to go out there and just knock out everybody for my hometown. Like, this would be the next coming of waves for the New Mexico fans.
Bringing a belt back here, doing it here, accomplishing your goals, right on the cusp of it. Like, people are going to ask, how do you not let that pressure affect you? We know you've been in this position before, and I'm figuring that experience is where it comes into play here.
Of course. Like, I just want to make sure that the pressure doesn't settle in. I'm not too worried about what's going to happen with the fans and all that emotion rising to the occasion. I know I can go ahead and step in there and just lay hands on this guy. I just want to make sure I can touch him as many times as possible before the ref pulls me off of him. The
fights have been quick. Your offense has been effective. Do you feel like that's just a statement of who you are as a bare knuckle fighter?
Oh, absolutely. I'm making sure that I'm going out there, hitting them with everything I got to give them with the full respect of my violence. And if I sit there and throw like pitter-patter shots, trying to pick them, doing this, it's not giving my opponent the same type of respect that I would have give anybody in the UFC or any other fighter. So I want them to treat them the best way possible with nothing but full chaos and violence that they have to deal with John Dodson.
Got to ask, what has this room been like? We know there's, plus your brothers, about 5 of you guys and all getting ready, maybe 6 at a time, getting ready for BKFC 48. What has the environment been like in here when so many people are targeted on the same date in the same sport?
Oh, it's amazing because we're all pushing for the same common goal for all of us to win. So while we're all sitting there pushing ourselves to excel far beyond our normal capabilities, we're pushing the limits of becoming superheroes and legends in the sports.
Superheroes. So we can't just only talk about fights here. Gotta ask, any new movies that have popped into your top favorite list? Any shows that you've been binging on the anime side? Well, what's caught John's attention for entertainment when you're trying to get the relax on?
Zone 100, even though it's coming out every Friday, we got to go ahead and watch about this guy whose whole life literally got flipped upside down because he hated his job, and then the zombie apocalypse happens, and then he realized he's going to make every moment count before he turns into a zombie. So he knows he's going to die. He's like, I can die today, I can die in 60 years. Let's go make life the fullest. That one's amazing. Bleach 1,000-Year War. Dr. Stone, I've been binge watching that one because I need to catch up on season 3. And then, last but not least, Jujutsu Kaisen's coming out. I'm going to be watching that after this fight.
I knew he was going to bring up the zombie anime. I knew that was going to happen. I've seen it on TikTok, and yeah, we're going to start that one this weekend, actually, me and the wife. Knew you were going to bring that one up. John, as always, thank you for the time. Always great catching up with you, sir.
Oh, man, thank you for actually coming by. Say what's up before I go murder somebody. It's going to be where millions of people is going to watch a murderer they're making, and then they all have to go ahead and testify against me and being a champion.
Those are some big expectations to live up to. I'm expecting the next time I'm talking to him, he's probably going to be shirtless after a weigh-ins, and then probably after that with a gold belt. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you, too. It's going to be like sitting all across my chest like this. Just want to look like... Remember when Tom was wearing a little ring? He sat there, had a sorcerer's ring, and he just had it around his belly and kept on shooting everybody like that? That's what's going to be me.
We'll see you guys August 11th, BKFC 48, Tingley Coliseum right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico.